All right, so Yoon's talk number 17. 5 things that I wish I knew before I went to A school. All right, so 5 things. Number one, you have to have your own study strategy. Like I said before, you have to find out what works for you. So to share with you what worked for me, one of the biggest thing that worked for me was after lunch, I would throughout the day, write down on my note cards about vocabulary or different, words, definitions, or stuff that I needed to know. And after lunch, after I eat, I would go to my room in a quiet place when no one's around. I would look at my note cards for 30 minutes. That was my power session of 30 minutes. I would look through my note cards with full concentration. Like I found out for me, that period of time after lunch, sitting down for 30 minutes, I could focus the most. Personally for me, that just worked for me for some reason. I tried many different things. And now if I need to study longer, what worked for me is studying at nighttime. I'm kind of a night owl where I study and concentrate the best in a dark environment with with light. And I have my books open and I'm just concentrating. So that worked for me. You have to find out what works for you. All right. So you have to try out many different things and you have to find that study strategy that works for you before you go to A school. Because what you don't want to happen is, you go to A school and then you're trying to get the AAP, Advanced Academic Performance, where it's an award that helps you get boosted to E4 faster compared to other people, right? So that should be one of your goals, to get the academic award or honor graduate, right? So number two, power of group studying. So one of the mistakes that I made when I was in A school was I thought I could just do it all. I thought, I don't need them. I can study everything on my own. The thing is, I underperformed. That's the truth. I underperformed compared to my classmates. Because what my classmates did was they studied together. And what happened was, they would share each other's study strategies. They would share each other's note cards, vocabularies, something that maybe one person didn't study, the other person would have, right? So they had their own study group that worked for them. So when I tried that, my level of performance went up too, right? So you have to be able to experiment with different things, and I believe there is a power in group studying. Now, point number 3 is kind of similar with number 2. And number 3, you need to create allies. And what I mean by allies is there are, when you are in A school, people who are senior to you, who are close to graduation by the time you get to A school, right? So I'm not saying personally I did this, but I've seen a good amount of people that created allies. And then, before they take the test or of the week of the test, these allies would, come to these people and say, yeah, this was on the test, this was on the test, this was on the test. Now that is kind of forbidden, but, that's happened, right? So, I'm not saying you should, but having allies is a good thing. They could hint you on what you need to study or guide you on what you need to study. All right, so number 4, when I was in A school, a buddy of mine asked me, Yoon, what should I study? Should I study this? Should I study that? And what I would say to him was this. And I said, hey man, when I was, in school, college, one of my math professors said this to me. And she said, be 200% ready. Because if you are 200% ready, the day when you take the test, you lose half the confidence that you had, right? Now you're 100% ready. Because normally people go into stuff, being 100% ready, and then, when they are in that situation, in that moment where for example, if it's a public speaking, a lot of people have a fear of public speaking, and they might be 100% ready with all the right material, but when they get up on that stage in front of a huge crowd, they lose their confidence by like half. So be 200% ready to be 100% efficient. All right. So number 5, last thing. It's not always about academics. Okay. It's not being, getting a highest grade in your test is important. Yes. And it is going to help you. It's one of the main factors to get you the academic award. But what I've seen sometimes is I've seen one class that had 3-way tie. All 3 of these individuals only got 1 question wrong throughout the whole A school. They would ace 100% all the tests except for 1. They all missed 1 questions on 1 test. And what it came down to was their performance overall during A school. So their inspection scores, their how much do they volunteer out in the community, right? So that is important. That it could come down to it, right? If you have a bunch of smart people in your class, and everyone gets 100% all the time, it could come down to whoever has the best inspection, best overall performance outside of school, right? So those are the 5 things that I wish I knew. Hope this helped. Press that like button, subscribe for more, and I hope you have a great Navy Day.